This conference will now be recorded.
Now, yesterday we created house bank, right? House bank and account ID is created for Axis Bank, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, let me write down that here. House bank, account ID. What is the transaction code to check the house bank?
FI12.
FI12. I'll open FI12. What was the company code?
BAIN.
BAIN. I'll continue. And this was the house bank that is created yesterday, AX01. And account ID, I'll double click on bank accounts. I can see the account ID as AXIS1. This is my account ID created. Now, I'll also list out GL account used. So, GL account that we used was this, right? So, I'll go back now. Now, here our house bank is AX01, account ID is Axis1, and GL account that is linked with account ID is 12000010, which is your bank main account, right? Now, let's assume that main account, incoming account, outgoing account. Okay, in this incoming and in this outgoing, you again have segregation. So what I'll do, so we talked about two types of payments from the bank. What are those two types of payments in the bank?
Like incoming and outgoing.
Check payment and bank transfer.
Check payment and bank transfer. Right. So when we talk about check payment, there are two possibilities in that again. One is you will receive the checks and the other one is you will issue the checks, correct?
Yes, sir.
And when it comes to your bank transfer, you will initiate the bank transfers. You will also receive the bank transfers. Am I correct?
Bank.
Correct. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, here when it comes to incoming account, I may write check incoming account and transfer, or instead of transfer, I may say IMPS incoming account. All right. Similarly, for outgoing account, I'll say check outgoing account and my IMPS outgoing account. Instead of IMPS, you can also write NEFT, RTGS, or transfer. Nowadays, everybody is using IMPS, right? Even we are more familiar with IMPS. So I just kept IMPS. Now, main account should always end with what? 0.
0.
There is no other way for it. You must use your main account ending with 0. This is a standard logic from SAP point of view. Now, from your incoming account, outgoing account, it is your choice. So what you wanted to, what number you wanted to keep for identifying incoming and outgoing payments is your choice. But once you decide that logic, you are not supposed to change it, because this will straight away affect your payment transactions and bank reconciliation transactions. Clear? You cannot change the left and right.
Okay.
Let's say for all my check incoming payment, I will be using ending with 1. And for all my IMPS incoming account, I will use ending with 2. For all my check outgoings, I will use ending with 3. For all IMPS outgoing account, I will use ending with 4. Any doubt in this?
Nothing. Okay.
No, sir.
So whatever the GL account that we are mapping inside the house bank and account ID is having the last digit as a 0. Okay, so system is only going to replace the last digit 0 with 1, 2, 3 and 4. And ending with 1, 2, 3, 4 will have a dedicated meaning, logic according to your chart of account, according to your business process. Now, if I have to use my automatic payment program, or if I have to use my manual payments. Now, assume check payment to vendors. Now here, what will be the accounting entry in general?
Vendor will be debit and check payment will be credit.
And check outgoing payment got credited.
Right. So vendor will be debit. In short, let me simply write bank credit. Now we have to be very specific from now on wherever you take bank account. Right? You are making a payment to vendor. So you are debiting vendor, fine, because he is receiving the amount. And you are crediting the bank because your amount is going out from bank. From which account, on what source your amount is going out? Is it going via check or via transfer? How is it going out?
Via check.
Via check.
Check.
Now, for check out, what is the GL account code should be? It
Ending
should
with
be
3.
your
Check
ending with 3.
3.
Right? So you will have to look at this accounting entry ending with 3. So if it is a Axis Bank, this GL number ending with 3 must be used here. Correct?
Yes.
This is my Axis Bank. My GL account must be this,
Ending
no
with
other code.
Yes.
Let's say if I'm using any other account, so only the first 7 digits will change. The last 8th digit is not supposed to change. Let it be any bank check account. It must end with 3 only. Clear?
Yeah. Okay.
I may issue check from Axis Bank, Citibank, HDFC Bank, or any other bank. My GL account must end with 3. That is the logic. Agree?
Okay.
yes, sir.
All right. Now, let us check the GL master records that are created in our company code. I go to FS00, I go to bank accounts. Currently, only one account is created, which is my Axis main account. Now, for me to record this vendor payment, in short, vendor check payment, is it possible for me to record the payment considering this
No,
GL
sir.
account?
No. We need to create a
GL
master.
master record is missing, right? So now
Yeah.
I
Yes.
need to create a GL master record for check outgoing. So what I am going to do, I am only going to create this account. So whenever we do these other scenarios, we will create that GL account at that time. So this will be my GL account ending with 3. What I'll do, I'll simply copy from this, select this account, click on copy, and before that, main account, always line item. This is line item and open item. Okay. So when you create a GL master record, you need to make sure your main account is what? Your main account is only line item. All your sub accounts, your incoming account and your outgoing accounts are line item plus open item. Clear? Keep this point in your mind. When we create this GL account now, I'll copy this. So my outgoing account should end with 3 for checks. I'll give
Yes.
this. Same account group, account number ending with 3. Ending with 3 should represent my check outgoing.
Check
So I'll
outgoing.
come here, access check out. Similarly, access check outgoing. Clear? Access check
Sure.
outgoing will be my GL description. And then if you go to control data, in control data, you will have two options. One is your line item and the other one is open item. For main account, we have written only line item.
Line item.
For any other incoming account or any other outgoing account, we have written line item and open item.
Plus open item.
So you will find one option called open item here. Put this tick mark. The reason why you are keeping this tick mark is for your bank reconciliation purpose. In short, for
Okay.
BRS purpose.
Okay.
Okay. If you do not tick this, it is not possible for you to do the bank reconciliation on a proper way. Okay. The reason why you are keeping this open item is exclusively for the BRS purpose. This is the only change. And in the create bank interest, you will still keep the same G005, which is your bank account. And then I'll proceed to save or create this GL master record. Now my GL account is ready. So for me to record a payment, now I have all the information. From my bank side, I have a house bank, account ID, GL account available, and a vendor account I just need to create and record one invoice so that I can initiate the payment. First, we will do a manual payment. See how system is capturing the manual payment, and then we will see the automatic payment. Clear?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'll take, let's say, simply I'll say purchased from, I'll say Reliance Digital for some, let's say 15,000. Okay. And when you say you purchased from Reliance Digital for 15,000, you are supposed to pay how much to Reliance Digital?
15,000.
15,000 is what you need to pay. And you are clear to whom you have to pay 15,000?
Reliance. Reliance.
Reliance.
Right? We have to pay to Reliance Digital. Now, who is Reliance Digital for us? Customer or a
Supplier.
vendor?
Yeah, vendor.
Vendor.
Is a vendor. Now, you must create a vendor master data first. What you'll do, first you'll create
Vendor master.
I'll go to FK01. Any account group we have created?
BALV, sir.
BA.
BALV. I'll take Bajaj local vendor. I'll give this as company,
Reliance Digital.
Reliance Digital. Here I'll simply put RD, Street, Electronic, Street, 88, some postal code, Bangalore, India, 10. Okay, I'll press enter. Everybody knows how to create this, right?
Yes, sir.
Now I'll press enter on my keyboard. Enter. These are all not necessary as of now because we need this to initiate the vendor payment. Recon account. I'll open the drop down. and select accounts payable local vendor.
And start key.
Sort key, let me give 001,
Posting date.
and then I'll proceed to save. These I'm not using. So we'll have different scenarios. At that time, I will be explaining all of those with practical examples. Now, our vendor is created. This is the vendor code. So this is the vendor code. I'll just see if I have any one GL account for expenses. So this is my purchase account. Since we are talking about payment, let us focus only from the vendor point of view. So it is fine wherever you charge your expenses, your debit. So I'll be using this account for debiting my expense. So first, and then I'll record
The invoice.
vendor invoice. So
Dash.
I'll go to F-C3.
43.
Give me a minute. Let's say I'll create the invoice with today's date only. AR, I'll write Reliance purchase. I'll put the vendor. This is the vendor account I know. So I'm not going to open the drop down and all, because I'm very clear from whom I have purchased. I'm very clear what is that supplier code. I'm straight away giving the supplier code. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Enter. What was the purchase amount? 15,000.
15,000.
Put 15,000 here. Ignore this baseline date, payment terms and all that. I'm going to explain you when we talk about discount concept. All right. Reliance purchase, and I am going to debit one expense. So I know this is also an expense account, purchases. I'll display this, copy this account. I'll put this here. Enter. To bring the same amount, what is the shortcut?
Asterisk symbol.
Star.
I'll have to put star. To bring the same text,
Plus.
Plus, yeah.
and since I am using purchase account, so I have to use a profit center. I have not yet created this purchase account as a cost element, so I'm not using the cost center. So let me use only profit center, as I have not treated this purchase account as a cost element. Cost center is needed only when you treat the expense as a cost element.
Okay.
BAIN01, sir.
BAIN01.
Yes.
Okay. Now I'll go to document, simulate. My vendor account is getting credited and my purchase account is getting debited. So I'll try to post this entry. This is the document number I got. Okay. I'll put this document number here. I will also try to take this invoice screenshot. Okay. This is the invoice that we have created now. Right. So after creating invoice, let me check vendor line item report.
Real one.
Right. So to see the vendor line item report,
FBL 1 lakh.
FBL
I'll
1
go
and
to FBL 1L. Here, make sure you will give your vendor account. This is ending with 418. This is ending with 418. Give your company code. Select open items. Open item is nothing but outstanding. Outstanding as on today. Because you are trying to make the payment today, you must know what is outstanding as on today. Agree?
yes, sir.
Right? If something is due next week, you are not going to pay today, right? You will pay only when the bill becomes due. If it is not due, you will not pay for it. So to check that, you must run the report for open item, and open item key date is date on which you wanted to see your outstanding. I wanted to check as on today, and I will select normal item and special GL. Special GL is nothing but advances. Okay, so always whenever you run any customer report, any vendor report, make sure you tick both normal item and special GL items, and then execute this report. Now it is showing one item. The status is showing with red icon.
Yes, sir.
Red icon indicates is due, not due, it indicates open, which is outstanding. Okay, if it is paid, it will show with green color icon. If it is outstanding, unpaid, it will show with red color icon. And then you will have something net due date symbol. Now here you will have three symbols for it. Currently what it is showing, a bell single.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What does it mean? It indicates due.
Due.
Because today is 27th, the due date for this invoice is also 27th. So if you look at this report, top you will find change layout. If I go to this layout, let me find due date. I have net due date here.
Yes, sir.
Next to document date, let me take due date. If I take the net due date, what is the due date?
27, sir.
Today's,
Yeah.
today's date 27.
What is today? 27, which means this invoice is due today, and we are
Yes,
going to pay this invoice today.
today.
Okay. Now to initiate the payment. Now before making the payment, let me take this one also. Put this screenshot, which is nothing but your vendor outstanding. After checking the vendor report, you will be doing vendor payment. Now to make the vendor payment,
Dash 22.
F-53.
53.
Now, so when are we making the payment today? So your payment date will become today. Document date, posting date, let's take same. I'll say Reliance payment. So Reliance payment. All this text I'm going to keep the same as Reliance payment. And here it is asking what data?
Bank data.
Here it is asking you to input bank data. In the last session, we discussed to initiate the cash payment to a vendor, you have a separate screen, you have a separate concept. What was that? Cash journal.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Right? If you wanted to make cash payment to the vendor, you will have to use cash journal transaction or cash journal concept in SAP. If you are using this screen, you must use bank data. If system is talking about bank data, you are giving a cash account, system will still accept, because
Yes,
system
sir.
cannot identify whether it is a cash account or a bank account, right? So we have to take the bank account. What payment are we making? Online transfer payment or check payment according to our example?
Check payment.
Check payment. So I know what is the GL account for check. If I go a little up,
Ending with 3.
ending with 3. This will be my check account.
Check.
I will use this GL account. Okay.
Yeah.
And how much is the outstanding amount?
15,000.
To check the outstanding amount, option number 1, you can look at the invoice for which you are making the payment. Here this shows against Reliance Digital 15,000.
Yes.
Option number 2, you can look at the vendor outstanding report. Here it shows 15,000 as outstanding for this invoice number.
Yes.
Clear?
Yes.
Now I have to give my payment amount as 15,000. Now when you are making any foreign currency payment, then this local currency amount will come into picture, otherwise ignore this.
Okay.
Bank charges, LC charges are not relevant now. Value date. Now when is this payment effective?
Today.
Assume that this payment is effective today. So I am going to take value date as today's date. Now text, I will write the same thing, Reliance payment, and profit center currently I am not giving because whatever the invoice that I have already posted has a profit center. Agree?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Whatever the invoice we already posted contains the profit center. Here if you see there is a profit center.
Yes,
Now
yes,
while making the payment, same profit center is automatically derived here based on passive document splitting functionality. So at the time of your vendor payment, profit center comes automatically from your invoice transaction. So this profit center derivation at the time of payment from invoice transaction is according to your document splitting, passive splitting functionality. So you will have 3 methods in the document splitting, which are your active document splitting, passive document splitting, and zero balance document splitting. At the time of any vendor outgoing payment or at the time of any payment, so your passive document splitting will come into picture, which will derive the profit center from invoice document. Clear?
Clear.
yes, sir.
It is telling an entry in value date is not permitted. Okay, this may be because of the field status group.
Yes.
I'll remove this. Okay, now it is asking me to input vendor account, open item selection. Open item is nothing but outstanding. In short, you term it as outstanding. So outstanding from which account?
Vendor.
Outstanding from vendor account. Who is your vendor? Reliance Digital is the vendor.
Yes.
System cannot understand by Reliance Digital. So system understands only by the vendor code. Copy this vendor code, put this here, and this is a vendor. Vendor is identified by account type K. Okay, so there are 4 account types. If I open this, okay, so you will be using asset, customer, vendor, and GL account. Ignore the material account, which we do not use normally.
Okay.
If it is asset, your account type is A. If it is customer, it is D. If it is vendor, it is K. If it is GL account, it is S.
Yes.
Now you have given an account number here. Below you have given K. So based on this combination, system is going to understand, okay, this is vendor account. Right? This system can interpret anything, right? If it is going by alphabetical order, it may think this is an asset account. But whereas this is a vendor account. So to make it clear, you have to specify what is the account type. Since it is a vendor account, it is your account type K. You are on post outgoing payment. We normally post outgoing payments for suppliers or vendor. Vendor is K. By default, system gives you K on this screen. Right? So
Yes, sir.
most of the information related to this specific transaction is predefined on the screen, like this K and this standard open items. And after giving the vendor account, click on process open item. When you click on process open item, you will get the list of outstandings, and out of which you will have to select. Since there is only one invoice, directly system came here. Otherwise, it will give you the selection criteria. On what basis you want me to show the outstandings? Based on the document number, based on profit center, date, and all. Now, this is the invoice number 15 all zeros 3. Is this the correct invoice number?
Correct. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Outstanding is 15,000. Is outstanding correct?
Yes, matching.
Right. So you have entered amount 15,000 for bank account, and you will have to select the respective invoice from here, for which you have to double click on the amount. If I double click on the amount, it will give me the amount assigned here, and you need to make sure not assigned is always 0. And if you see, you will find one thing here, days in arrears. What is the number here?
0.
0, sir.
It is 0. Why it is 0?
Because
Because
due
we
on today.
yeah, we're paying today
Because
actually.
you are paying on due date. If I
On due
pay
date.
it tomorrow, what happens? I
One
am paying
day. Yeah, 1 day
late by
delay.
1 day. So this
1 day
Yes.
days
delay.
in arrears will show as 1.
Yes.
Okay, if I am paying 10 days later, this will show as 10 days,
10.
which means this is overdue for 10 days. You are paying on the date, so that is why it is 0. Now we'll take different scenarios, then you will understand this clearly. Now after giving this, let me go to document, simulate. What is the accounting entry for this?
Check outgoing credit
Reliance
and
digital
Check
data
outgoing
matches
account is being credited and your vendor account is being debited.
debit.
Let me post this. Now document number 17 all zeros 3 is posted.
yeah.
Let me take this document preview. Okay, this is your payment document. Any doubts so far?
No, sir.
I think
So this
so.
is your manual payment process. When you do automatic payment program, you want system to automatically post this transaction alone. Creation of your invoice is still manual activity. Verification of your outstanding, what to pay is still the manual activity. Only the making payment is automated. System is going to record the payment entry automatically based on your APP configuration. Okay. Now let us check what is there in APP configuration. How checks are printed and all we will be discussing in the upcoming sessions in detail. Because
Yes.
before that you have to understand the basic functionality about automatic payment program. APP configuration. So APP is configured in a single screen called FB
Z.
ZP. APP you are going to configure in single screen called FB ZP. Let me open this. FB ZP. The moment I open FBZP, I get 6 headings
Steps.
inside this.
Yes.
Right? These are the 6 steps I am getting from FBZP. This is what you got from FBZP. Now,
Yes, sir.
what is the first one?
All company code.
Second one?
Paying company code.
Third one?
Payment methods and country.
Payment method and country. Fourth one?
Payment methods in company code.
Payment method and company code.
Company.
Fifth one?
Bank determination.
Last one?
House bank.
House bank. Now, out of all these 6, did we configure anything already?
House bank.
House bank is already configured. Agree?
Yes, sir.
House bank is already configured, but to do APP configuration, according to these 6 steps, house bank is falling under first step or last step?
Last step.
According to these 6 steps, your house bank is part of last activity or 6th activity. But to do this FBZP or APP, house bank is the key element. If you do not have house bank, you cannot create FBZP configuration. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now let us verify before we reach the house bank if we have to input the house bank information anywhere on the screen. Let me open the first one.
All company code.
First thing, you will have to remember these 6 steps in the same sequence. It has to be by hearted like your name.
Okay.
When I ask what is your name, the way you are not going to think and answer, the similar way when somebody is asking you to tell APP configuration, first thing you have to speak out these 6 steps in the same sequence. The first criteria. After that, you have to expand and explain what activities we will do in each of these steps. Let us open all company codes first. This is your all company codes. First, let us verify whether our company code is here or not. For that, I'll go to position. I'll input my company code. What is our company code? BAIN. I'll give BAIN. Continue. It is not there. I'm not getting BAIN here. Represents our company code is not part of this. Your company code will be part of this only when you define automatic payment program configuration for the company code. Now, company code not reflecting here represents no APP is defined for company code. Am I right?
Correct. Yes.
Now, to do APP relevant settings for your company code, click on new entries. Now here first thing it is asking you to input company code. What is our company code?
BA.
BAIN. Is there any mandatory field on the screen?
Yeah, paying company code.
Paying company code is mandatory. I'll put paying company code as BAIN. Any other thing you feel as mandatory?
No.
No, right? Let me press enter on the screen. Okay, the others are not mandatory. Others are used based on different scenarios which APP offers. Currently, we are going with very basic plain version of APP to understand the basic configuration and basic execution in APP. Only then we can discuss about different scenarios from APP. So let us not talk about any of these things because I want everybody to be able to configure and execute APP without any doubts. Whatever
Okay.
I'm not doing, you do not do it. Right? Blindly do what we are doing because we are executing basic version of APP. I am going to save this. Continue. Clear what we have done in the first step?
Yeah.
Now I'll go back. Now I'll go to the next one, paying company codes. Enter this. Here also let me check if paying company code is already there, BAIN.
Not there.
Is it there? It is not there. So to add it, let's click on new entries. Here also any mandatory field.
No, nothing.
Of course, you'll have to give your paying company code, no other go. I'll go BAIN. I'll press enter. Any other mandatory field?
Nothing.
Nothing. I'm not going to do anything. I am going to save this. Because I don't find anything as mandatory, I'm not going to put any value here. I'll save this. Clear?
Yeah.
Each field represents a different scenario from SAP. So you have to understand each field by taking one scenario. Otherwise, you do not understand why we are using this, why you are ticking this. If you do tick, what happens? If you do not tick, what happens? So you need a clear-cut scenario. That is why I'm not ticking, putting anything which is not relevant for us now.
Okay.
I'll go back. Now I'll go to payment method in country. Which company code we are working for?
India.
BAIN. BAIN company code is assigned to which country?
India.
That is important here. So you must know what is your company code. You must also know to which country your company code is assigned to. Our company code is assigned to India. So you go to position, select country as India, press enter. You get India here if it is not in the first position. Now check payment methods which are represented by a single digit. So your payment method can be single digit alphabet, single digit numeric, single digit special character. Clear?
Yeah.
Now you have to define a single digit payment method which is not existing here. Okay, if you are looking at a real-time system, you will hardly find 2 or 3 payment methods. Since this is a practice server, you will find so many. So no other go, we have to identify whatever is not available. So what I'll see here, 2 is here from the numeric. So 1 is not there. So I can go ahead and create 1. Agree?
Yeah.
Because I see 1 is not used, only 2 is used. What I am going to do, I am going to add a new entry. I'll give my country as India, because system is going to verify the availability of the payment method based on the country and payment method combination. This one can be used in US but not in India. So when you are using one for India, it will not throw you a duplicate message, because in India one is not used anywhere. And the description I'll give BAIN payment method. I'm not writing check or transfer or anything, because we are creating this as a basic version. Now, what are we using this payment method for? Outgoing payment or incoming?
Outgoing.
We are
Outgoing.
going to use this for outgoing payment. So make sure your radio button is on outgoing payment.
Yeah.
And what is the payment method classification? Are we going to use this as bank transfer, check, bill of exchange, and all of this together?
Check actually.
Okay. All right. We want to use as check. If you put check, if you see when I click check, here the options will get changed.
Correct.
If I click bank transfer, if I click check, what is happening? Here 1, 2, 3, here 1, 2, 3, 6 are there. When I tick bank transfer, these are editable. When I tick check, these are not editable. Agree?
Yeah.
So depending on the payment method, system will tell you the additional functionalities to be used depending on your requirement. So I'm not going to use any of this. I am going to use check, and down below it is asking you to input the posting details. Now, what will automatic payment do? It will post payment document automatically. Agree?
Yeah.
Now, earlier we posted one payment manually using this screen F-53. When you posted this, are we using a document type or not?
Yeah, using, no? Yes.
Right? Without a document type, is it possible to record a transaction? Let
No,
it be
no,
anything. No, right? So
no
if you
way.
are posting a transaction manually, you have to input this for every screen, for every transaction. Majority of the screens will have this one defaulted. Right? Similarly, when system is posting the payment document automatically, it must allot a document type for it. So you can decide what document type to be used here. As of now, since we are going straightforward, plain version of APP, I'll use the same payment method, KZ. Is it what we have used here? For manual, we have used KZ. For here also, I will use KZ. Here also, I will put KZ. Wherever it is asking me for document type, I am giving KZ and then I'll press enter. Any other error messages? No, right?
No.
So I'm not using any of these now except India, payment method, description, check or bank transfer, and document type. Form information and all, I'm not typing, filling anything here. I'll go to save. Clear? This data was saved. I'll go back. You have to remember payment method that we have used. Now we have created payment method at country level. Now next step is to create payment method at company code level.
Yes.
I'll open this payment method in company code. In this, go to position, select your company code BAIN. I say OK. Is our company code coming here?
No. No.
No, it is not coming because none of the payment method is linked or assigned to your company code. We have defined a payment method at country level.
Yes.
So you have to link that country level payment method to your company code. Now for this, I'll add a new entry. It is asking me for company code. I'll give my company code
Yeah.
BAIN. And if I open the drop down, it is giving me payment methods from country key IN alone. Did I select India anywhere?
No.
I did not select India anywhere. System is taking India based on your company code. Your company code is assigned to what country?
Yeah.
India. That is how system is picking only India related payment methods. What was our payment method? What did we create?
Number.
BAIN.
Yeah. All.
Select BAIN payment method 1. I'll press enter. Based on this company code, system automatically gets the currency. Any other field is mandatory here?
Nothing.
No, right? Nothing is mandatory. I'm not giving anything. Because without knowing the functionality of it, let us not put anything. I'll save this. Okay. Now, till now, did we use house bank concept anywhere?
No. Nothing.
First 4 steps, we have not used house bank anywhere. Now, next one is your bank determination. Let's open this. Bank determination is nothing but the sequence which system has to follow to pick the GL account. How will system know that I have to make payment from Axis Bank, HDFC Bank, Citibank or SBI Bank? If it is a manual payment, it is your choice. You can input whatever the bank you want. I can put Axis Bank account, I can put Citibank account, I can put SBI account, whatever it is. Agree? But
Correct.
if it is an automatic payment, how you want system to pick the GL account for the bank? That is what you are going to define in the bank. In this, you will have multiple settings. This will have multiple settings: ranking order, bank account enhanced, available amount, value date, expense, and charges, out of which we will be using only 3. First one is your ranking order. Double click on the ranking order. Before you do this, you have to select your company code here. Go to position. BAIN is our company code. Select this company code. In this company code, what is the ranking order you want? Double click on this. Is there any setting information currently?
No, nothing.
No, right? So let us add a new information by clicking on new entries. First field is your
Payment method.
If you do not know what it is, simply expand this. It will tell you payment method. Now, how many payment methods are coming? Only one. How system is giving only one? Based on your company code. For our company code, we have currently assigned only one payment method. Accordingly, it is giving you only one payment method. Payment method 1. Clear?
Yeah.
Now, this payment method 1 you want to use for what currency payments?
INR.
You want to use this for INR payments? I'll give INR. Ranking order. Whether you want to use this payment method as your first priority or second priority or third priority. I wanted to use this as my first priority. Right? From which bank?
First bank, yes.
Right? Open the drop down. Since we have only one, you are going to use only Axis Bank. Let's say you have Axis City HDFC, you can select whatever the bank you want as your first bank or first priority. Select this. Now, are we using house bank here?
No.
Are we using house bank here? Yes, no?
Yes, now we are using Axis.
Now we are using house bank, but according to configuration, house bank is after bank determination. So in fact, when you do FBZP, when you do APP configuration, we do not use house bank from this screen because house bank setting is already configured before you enter APP screen. Clear?
Yeah, okay.
So, though there are 6 steps, we are going to configure only 5 steps from here. We will not use house bank here. Clear? You will configure only 5 steps. Now this is done. Click on save. And after completing this, the second option is your bank accounts. Double click on bank accounts. Here there is no information. Add a new entry here. Now what is the first field? House bank. Open the drop down. We have only house bank, which is your Axis. Select Axis Bank. Next one is your payment method. We have only one payment method. Select your payment method. Currency is INR.
Then bank account.
Account is nothing but your house bank account ID. Okay. Because one bank can have multiple accounts, right?
Yes.
In one branch, you can open multiple accounts. So which account you want to use? This, we are going to use this. And which GL account to be used for making the payment?
Outgoing.
Now, if you look at this, you have made a payment. So which account we have used?
That one. 3, yeah.
Right. 1200 0003
13.
12000003, right? And press enter. And
This should
this
be
13.
13.
13,
Yeah.
and press enter. Okay. Now after this, these are not required. Okay, this information is not relevant. We will not be using this charge indicator and all. We are not going to use it on APP. These are the 5 inputs that you'll have to give: house bank, payment method, currency, account ID, GL account. So people might ask you, where do you do GL account determination for APP? They might ask you in your interviews, where do you do GL account determination in APP? You'll have to tell under bank accounts section.
Yes.
Okay, on what combination you are going to define GL account? Then you'll have to tell house bank, payment method, currency, and account ID.
Okay.
Now I'll save this. After this, you are not going to use this bank account enhanced because we are using this. We will not use this bank account enhanced.
Yes.
Now next one, we will be using this available amounts.
Okay.
Because system should know if funds are available or not, right?
Correct.
So if you are doing a manual payment, I know that in this account currently there is only 10,000 balance, but my payment amount is 15. So I cannot initiate the payment having known there is insufficient fund, correct?
Yeah.
Similarly, system should also know whether the sufficient amount is available or not.
Okay.
So that is the one of the reason where you put ranking order. Okay. Now in the available amount, let's add a new entry. House bank is Axis. Account ID, which account in Axis Bank? So our current account. I'll give currency. This account currency is what?
INR.
INR. So we are using this for outgoing payment. Let's say available amount for outgoing amount is 10,000. And this amount is valid for how many days? If I say 10 days, 5 days, so system is going to consider accordingly. So what we will do, we are not going to change this on a regular basis. It's a one-time configuration. In short, we are masking it. When I say we are masking it, we are not going to use this control point or checkpoint which SAP has. So I am saying this amount is valid for 999 days. 10,000 rupees will be my balance in the account. If I am initiating a payment for 15,000, according to this setting, is 15,000 available for outgoing payment?
No.
Yes, no?
No.
No.
It is not available because we are defining available amount is only 10,000, whereas we are
10,000.
trying to initiate payment for 15. So system will not make the payment from APP or automatic payment program because of this mismatch or conflict. So that is why we will put all lines here. That is why we will put all lines here. Press enter, so that you are not going to initiate payment for this much amount for sure. 99.9% cases, no company will make single shot payment for this amount. Agree?
Yeah.
So you are overwriting or you are bypassing this checkpoint by masking this with all lines amount and then save this. After this value date expense charge we will not be using. This value date I will tell you why and when we will use it, when we are actually talking about checks. And expense charges also we do not use. Okay, if you exceed certain amount, or if you have amount limits based on which your bank is going to charge some income or expenses, that we will map here. That functionality majority of the clients will not opt or will not be using, so we will also not touch that now.
So,
This is what, yeah,
so this available amounts, that means it's a one time you have to define, or how it is? Every
it's
time,
one time only. It is one
one
time
time.
you will define the maximum amount, so that this check is always passed.
Okay, fine. Okay,
Okay, system is going to perform this check for every payment run that you do.
okay,
It will check what is my total payment amount in this batch, what is the available amount as per system. So it is
okay,
not possible for me to check my bank balance and update on a daily basis, right?
correct.
So that is why we mask this with all lines, so that this check is always passed. System will not throw any error for this.
Okay. So how
Okay.
the system will monitor for this one actually, in case your balance is less, but we are initiating more payment. So system will automatically will stop the payment, or how it is?
Yes, it will not initiate the payment. It will give a error message stating available amount is not sufficient.
Okay, fine.
Okay, it will clearly tell the error message stating the funds available or the amount available is not sufficient to make this payment.
Okay.
Okay, now this is all about your APP configuration. Anything complex you found in this so far?
Nothing. It's okay. Clear.
Right? So after doing this, let us do one payment for the same vendor for the same amount. Maybe let's take another invoice for 16,000,
Okay.
so that we can differentiate manual payment and automatic payment. I'll use the same invoice 1. This is this 16,000. Reliance invoice 1. Credit is the expense account, star profit
Profit.
center plus I am supposed to debit
Yes.
star profit center text. Simulate this entry and post. Okay, now if I run the report of the vendor FBL1N
What?
as on today, now I have 16,000 outstanding, correct?
Yes.
Now
Yeah.
this 16,000 I wanted to pay using my automatic payment run or APP functionality.
Okay.
Let me do it directly. I've not done any change anywhere so far.
Yeah.
Straight away I'll go to APP. To run APP, it is F110, F110 or F110. Here you have to give run date. I am running the payment today, so I'll give 27/07/2022. Identification, let's say BAIN
Right.
1.
Okay.
Enter, and I have to give some parameter because system cannot assume on what basis I have to do the payment, right?
Yeah.
So system should know for what I have to make the payment, for which
Yeah.
it requires some parameters from you. Based on that parameter, it will go and identify if anything is outstanding to make the payment,
Yeah.
for which click on parameter. Here it is clearly telling no parameters entered as yet, and you will find a selection field called parameter. Click on parameter here. When you go to parameter, you will find posting date. Posting date is defaulted from your run date.
Okay.
Posting date comes from your run date. Now, on what date you wanted to make the payment? If I am doing payment today, I wanted to have my payment date today. Agree?
Yeah.
And the next one is your documents entered up to. This is very important. This is your entry date in the system, data entry date. So when you record the transaction today, system captures that date by default.
Okay.
Right? When you record any transaction, normally you will find two dates. One is your document date, other one is posting
Entry
date. Right? So I can give this maybe 01/01/1947. I can give this 05/07/2022 also. But actually, when I am recording this in the system today,
Today, yeah, 27.
right, on 27th, I have the flexibility to record the transaction. If I put this enter, now this check is passed, correct?
Yes.
System is allowing me to use document date 1947, posting date backdated also.
Okay.
Now, in short, I am recording this with today's date in the system. System has to know this is recorded in the database on today's date. Agree?
Yes.
Because here there is no control for you. You are allowed to use any date.
Okay.
Now this date is your data entry date. Documents entered up to what date on the system. You need a
Okay.
cutoff, right?
Okay. Correct.
That cutoff is normally taken as current date. Remember, this date should always be current date, because of which many times you may get your APP errors. Always remember your documents entered up to must be current date.
This date. Okay. Correct.
And customer items due by, ignore it, because we are not using this for customer. We are using it for vendor.
Okay.
Right? We are using it to make vendor payment. So this is talking about customer. Ignore this, because we are
Okay.
not bothered about customer currently. And then payment control. In which company code you wanted to make the payment?
Okay.
What was our
BA.
company code?
BA.
BAI. Using what payment method? What was our payment method?
Check pin.
What is the
0.
payment method? Single digit that we have created?
1, I think.
1. Right? You have to give 1 here. And next, payment date. So you are executing a payment run today. And when is your next payment? If I say my next payment is
2.
30/07/2022. So according to this, system understands you are making a payment today and the next payment would be on 30th, which means what about invoices which are due on 28, 29? They will not be paid, right? Because you have next scheduled payment on 30th. So are we going to miss those payments or not?
Yes. Go to visit. Yes.
Right? We are going to miss those because there is no payment run until 30th. So based
Yes.
on this date, system will consider transactions that are due up to 30th or up to 29th.
Okay.
If there is an outstanding on 28, 29 or up to this date are picked and paid in this payment run.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. So people specifically ask you the functionality of this next payment date in your APP.
Okay.
Exclusively, they will ask about this field. You have to
So,
tell. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, it will pick up to 29th, me to say.
Correct. Right.
Oh, okay. So 30th next run date, so it will take from 30th. Whatever thing.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And then next you'll have to select the vendor account. For which vendor account you want to run automatic payment. So we know our vendor account this.
Yeah.
I'll put this vendor account. I want to run payment for this vendor account. Press enter. Any errors, warnings so far?
Nothing.
Nothing, right? Just save this. When you save, your details have been saved. And if I go to status tab, it shows parameters have been entered. All right. After clicking on parameters, now there is something called free selection. This free selection is nothing but filters. If you want to exclude something or if you want to include something, you can use this free selection. This we will experiment with the different cases.
Okay.
And the next one is your additional log. Because system is going to run this payment in the front end or in the back end.
Okay.
It is going to run this automatically in the background, right? You are not going to run this manually.
Background only, yeah.
So what is happening in the back end, you want to know, right? What happened? If something is not processed, why happened, what happened, you must know. For which you need the log. So
Okay.
always remember, log is mandatory for your APP.
Okay.
Otherwise, you will not understand why errors are coming.
Okay.
So you have to select 1,
Okay.
2, 4 always.
Okay.
Always select 1, 2, 4.
Okay.
Okay, you want payment log in all cases, due date check, line items, everything.
Okay. Yes.
Now give for which vendor you want this. This is my vendor code. For this vendor, I want the log. Normally we give the range.
Range. Okay.
How we will give range and all, we will be doing in the upcoming sessions, wherein we are going to run APP with multiple vendors, multiple scenarios.
Okay.
Okay. Now enter and then save. So this printout and the data medium. Printout is used for checks. Data medium is used for transfers.
Transfers. Okay.
Okay, so this we will see later. Now come back to status. Now you have told the system on what basis system has to make the payment. Agree? Parameters
Yeah.
we have given.
Yes.
Criteria. Parameter is nothing but criteria. So this is the combination you have told.
Yes.
Check outstanding invoices in BAIN company code for payment method 1 due up to 29th, because next payment method is 30th for
Yes.
this vendor.
Correct.
Now let us check how system is going to give a proposal for us. So you will find next icon here, proposal.
Okay.
Based on your input, system is going to propose according to your search criteria. These are the outstanding invoices that are due for payment. I'll click on proposal. When you click on proposal, when you want to run the proposal, is it right now you want to run the proposal or at a scheduled time? 100% this is run on a real time basis, live, which means start immediately.
Okay.
Clear? And then say schedule. Click on enter and you will get payment proposal has been created. If this is not coming, keep clicking on this status. This will refresh until you get this second line, payment proposal has been created. Okay. Now after this, you have to check your proposals before you initiate payment run. Clear? Now here there is edit proposal, display proposal. First, I should display the proposal before I edit anything. Editing is nothing but modifying. Without checking, I cannot modify, right? So first I have to check. To check, I'll click on display proposal. The moment I click on display proposal, I am getting a list. I'm getting a list, but with red light or green light.
Red light.
Red light is a stop indicator.
Yeah.
The system is telling, hold on, something is wrong here.
Correct.
Right? 16,000 is the outstanding amount, which is correct, but it is not green. If it is green, it is good to go. If it is red, something is wrong.
Okay.
So you will find two options here. What is this red showing?
Exception.
Exception. If it
Yeah.
is red, it is exception list. If it is green, it is proposal list.
Okay.
Because you are going to accept only proposal, right? This is what is proposed,
Yes.
which is good to go.
Okay.
If there are any defects, if there are any disconnects, mismatches, system will give you that list as exception. Exception
Okay.
means something is not correct. Exceptional case. Right? Now this is an exception. Why an exception? Is where you are going to use the log. You are going to
Okay.
use log when there is an exception. There is an exception here. Why? Now you cannot interpret, right?
Correct. I cannot interpret.
And it
Yes.
is not ideal also for you to interpret, think logical and all, not relevant. You have
Yes.
activated the log here. System will enable the log. Click on this display proposal log. It is giving the log. Run is continued and all, it is telling vendor due date determination, payment terms and all is here. Payment must take, this is fine,
Before. Okay.
because it is telling payment, this is due on 27. It is telling
Yeah.
payment must take place before 27, next payment on 30th.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Next one, payment method selection additional log. Payment method selection for items due now to the amount 16,000. None of the payment methods one has been entered in master record or in the document.
Oh, okay. So the
Okay.
payment.
We have assigned payment method one in the automatic payment program.
Yes.
And now, did we assign payment method one anywhere, either in master record or in document?
No, I don't think so.
No, right? Now what I'll do, I am going to display this invoice.
Yeah.
Select this invoice, click on display. Now there is a field in the invoice for the vendor line item called payment method. Did we
Okay.
fill anything here?
Nothing. Okay.
We have told the system to select invoices which are due with payment method 1, correct?
Yes.
In this invoice, is there payment method 1?
Nothing was a blank. It is blank.
It is blank.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
according to this, system is not supposed to pick this for payment as a proposal.
Correct.
So system did correct.
Yeah.
Now, second one is in the master record. So if I display this vendor FK03
Zero.
and all your, I'll open all this.
Okay.
Okay, this is your address, nothing related, control, nothing related, payment transaction, nothing related, accounting, nothing related. Here you will have something called payment transactions accounting.
Yes. Automatic
Here
payment
there is
transaction.
a exclusive selection,
Automatic.
exclusive setting for your vendor automatic payment transaction.
Okay.
Did we assign any payment method for vendor here in the master data?
No, nothing
No,
is
right?
mentioned.
So system is telling in the log clearly no
Yes.
payment method is entered in master record or in the transaction or in the document, because
Correct.
of which this is failed.
Yes.
Now what I am going to do, I am going to edit this vendor. I'll give payment method as 1. Clear?
Yes.
I'll say, right? Now if I display only this payment transactions in company code, now I can see payment method 1 in the master data, correct?
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
Now after doing this, If I go back or refresh this report, let me open this document once again. Is payment method 1 reflecting now at the invoice?
No, not yet. Still.
Nothing, right? Okay. But is it there in the master record now?
Yeah, it is there in the master record.
It is there in the master record.
Yeah.
Now, what we will do, if I go back, if I check my proposal log, it is red, which means there is some issue.
Correct.
So what I'll do, I will recheck or I will rerun the proposal. To rerun the proposal, whatever the proposal is already carried out must be deleted. To delete the existing proposal, go to edit because you wanted to change something. Any change is part of your editing. Go to edit on the menu. What do you want to edit? Proposal.
Proposal, yeah.
Right? Because you are at the proposal stage where proposal is not correct, you want to redo the proposal.
Correct.
So here, do you find it delete?
Delete is there.
Right?
Yeah.
So here you will get two lists. One is proposal list. The other one is exception list. Yeah. Proposal list is the list which is correct as per your parameter.
Yes.
Exception is the list which is missing something from your parameter.
Yes.
Now I'll delete my proposal. Should the proposal be deleted? Yes, I want to delete the proposal.
Yeah.
Now the proposal related information disappeared. Correct. I'll click on status again. Now I'll click on this proposal again, schedule proposal. Click this. I want to start immediately. Click continue and click on this refresh icon. Payment proposal has been created. Now let us go and display the proposal. Now is it still red or green?
Still red, yeah.
It is still red.
Yeah.
Go back.
We have to check.
You have to check. Now this time what we will do, we will change in the transaction. Because when this transaction is created, master data does not have any payment method, correct?
Correct, yes.
So when you changed the master data, that change is reflected or is effective for the new transaction, not for the old one.
Old transaction, correct. So
correct. Your changes will not reflect for historical data.
Yeah.
So what we'll do?
In this case, we can edit the transaction.
That is not recommended. So I'm not editing now. Editing will take different cases.
Okay.
Because first we want to get this green without any editing.
Okay.
How that comes is what we have to understand. So that is where your APP is working fine. If you are editing and making this green, indicates something is wrong. Right, without your manual intervention, you want system to give this as green.
Correct.
Until you get green, you have to understand what things are missing. So that is where you get the flow. So still red. This time I am going to edit my invoice. I'll click on change document. I am going to add payment method as 1 here. Clear?
Okay. So but is it
payment method 1
possible to edit the invoice also?
Invoice?
After posting, we can edit that invoice also?
Yes.
Normally?
Yes.
But not all
the
fields.
amount. Not all the fields.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I'll save this. Now payment method is updated.
Okay.
After updating, what I need to do? I need to carry out proposal once again. To carry out proposal once again, I have to delete the existing proposal.
Yes.
To delete existing proposal, I have to go to edit,
and
proposal, and delete proposal.
Yeah. Then again, you have to run the proposal.
Refresh and do the proposal once again. Start immediately. Continue.
Yeah.
Refresh the status. Now
Yes.
payment proposal has been created. Display this. Now is it still red or green?
Now it's green now. Now passed. Yeah, it's okay.
Now it is green, which means
Yes.
this is proposal
Payment.
list.
Yes.
So this is good to go for payment. Earlier one was an exception for payment. This is good to go for payment.
Yes.
Now I am going back, right? Because from the display proposal, I got to know it is green.
Yes.
Everything is good. I'll go back. If I check the log,
Yeah.
it tells me
Payment is permitted.
everything,
Yeah, job finished. Yeah.
right? It is even telling me which account to debit, which account to credit,
Yeah. Right.
right? It is even telling you the document that is going to get posted when you run the payment. It is telling your vendor account debit, your bank account credit.
What is the 222, Ajay?
This is your
222.
foreign currency. This is your local currency.
Ah, okay, fine.
Okay. So this is your currencies in line 1 is your INR. Currencies in line 2 is dollar. This is your
USD.
line 1 INR. This is your line 2 dollar.
USD. Okay.
Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Now I'll go back. I'll click on payment run because my proposal is fine and I want payment also to be carried out immediately. Click
Yeah.
OK. Payment run is ready to be started. Click on status to refresh. It will tell
Yes.
you posting order 1 generated, 1 completed, because we had 1 payment to be made and 1 payment completed.
Okay.
Now if I click on this payment log, it will tell me this payment information. This is the payment for the vendor and this is the document that is posted for your payment. 17 all zeros 4. If I display this document, (2022), this is my APP accounting and payments. Clear?
Okay. Clear. Yeah.
Now, if I put this screenshot next to my manual payment screenshot, you'll get the difference. Any change in the accounting document?
Yeah. See the account number. No, account number is okay.
Everything is same. If you see Reliance Digital
Yeah.
is debited,
Yes.
here also your Reliance Digital is debited.
Yes.
Axis check account is used for credit. Here also Axis check account is used for credit. Amount is
Correct.
different. Otherwise, it is all same. Here
Yes.
you are getting payment method as 1.
Here
Here
payment
also you are
method.
getting here you are not getting payment method 1 because this was manual payment.
Yes. So everything same only.
Right. Here if you see transaction is updated as ZAH. Here transaction is blank.
Blank.
Right. If
What
you
is
see
that?
this ZAH, this is your automatic payment.
Oh, ZAH. Okay.
ZAH. You can identify whether it is an automatic payment or a manual transaction payment.
Okay.
Okay. So any doubt so far?
So ZH at AH is a standard one, huh? Automatic payment.
Standard one. So these will get updated in the backend automatically.
Okay, fine. So we can make out from that transaction. ZAH means it's automatic payment program.
Automatic payment, correct. Clear, right? Any doubts so far on this APP basic
Very clear.
version?
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, we have to practice. Otherwise,